Hey Dan, it's Miles Seegers. Hey, I wanted to personally make a video for your brother because I appreciate the fact that you actually took the time to send me a video. So I want to put together a video for you to answer your question. And I think what you're really asking is how to make money from solo ads. And I'll tell you, Dan, it's a pretty simple process. You're talking about you mentioned solo ads. And then you mentioned Safelist. Well, as you know, they are they're different things. A safe list, for anyone that doesn't know that's watching this video, is a form of solo ads. However, it's a free form of solo ads. You're not actually paying for that solo ad. So that's the difference between a safe list and a solo ad. Now, you mentioned both, and I love your definition of insanity. Yeah, I agree with you, Dan. Doing the same thing over and over again and not getting results, yes, that is the definition of insanity. So if you're doing that, I want you to stop doing that. So here's what I suggest you do. And it's a pretty simple process when you really break it down. Let's start with safe lists first, and then we'll talk about solo ads. Now, as far as your safe list, you're not working with a direct vendor. You're working with various safe list websites, and in order to have success with safe lists, you know that it's a free form of marketing. In order to have success with safe lists, you need to do a lot of them. Basically, all you're doing is exchanging emails with other marketers. You're clicking on their link, they're clicking on your link, and you guys are really just going back and forth until you can build up enough credits to actually have success with that safe list. So well, I'll be very direct with you. It's not a targeted strategy at all. It's a good way to start if you're on a limited budget. If you're on a limited budget and maybe you have more time, then I would work with safe lists. But again, to make safe lists effective, you really need to send a lot of emails. You need to send a lot. You need to get a lot of clicks. Now, you also mentioned that you're doing solo ads. Wonderful. That's what I like to hear. It really doesn't matter the cost of the solo ad, just the fact that it's a paid form of traffic. Now, what I look for, Dan, when I'm doing a solo ad, it doesn't matter who the vendor is. It doesn't matter if I recommended the vendor to you. It really doesn't matter. Very simple benchmark. Now, some people may have different numbers from me, but what I'm going to give you is my numbers, my benchmark that I go by. I look for a 30% or above conversion rate. Now, this is what I'm talking about, conversions. Conversions could be sales. Conversions could be, for example, offline, could be purchases. Conversions could be clicks. Conversions could be opt-ins. So when I'm speaking of conversions, Dan, I'm talking about opt-ins. In this case, I'm talking about opt-ins. So for example, if you go out and you purchase a solo ad, and excuse me if I didn't define the term, someone else, Dan, might be watching this. A solo ad is simply renting or borrowing another marketer's list. Basically, you go out to a publisher and you're basically renting their list, and they're sending your ad, your promotion by itself, which is why they call it solo, sending your promotion to their list. So they're actually marketing to their list on your behalf. Hope I was clear with that. So Dan, here's all you're doing, Dan. As you know, you're purchasing clicks. Let's just keep it very simple. Let's say the solo ad you're talking about, you purchased 100 clicks. We'll just keep it a nice even number. And you will get those clicks delivered. Usually most vendors over-deliver a little bit, at least the ones I deal with. So let's say you bought 100 clicks. The vendor will deliver those clicks to you. His or her subscribers will be clicking on your link. You're going to get 100 clicks. But as far as the prospect or the lead actually opting in, Well, that's not really the vendor's job. That's your job to make sure you have a high converting offer. And you're part of my team, Dan, so you do have a high converting offer. So what you're looking for is, like I said, you're looking for a 30% or above conversion rate, which means if you purchase 100 clicks, you should get at least 30 opt-ins. You bought 100 clicks, you should get at least 30 opt-ins or better. And that's my personal benchmark. So I don't know your numbers. You're going to need to take a look at them. So if you've gotten, for example, a 20% conversion rate, or God forbid, something like a 10% conversion rate, well, first thing I would do is I would go back to the vendor and let them know that your conversion rate really wasn't very good. Sometimes there could be a problem on the vendor's end, and most of the vendors I work with, they're really professional people. They're willing to work with you. They would even send out more traffic on your behalf in case something went wrong. You also want to make sure that there's not a problem on your end. So what I'm saying, Dan, is if you're working with a good vendor, a quality vendor, and the traffic, first of all, you need to know where that traffic is coming from. As long as that traffic is targeted, as long as it's from English-speaking countries, it's good traffic, you should have no problem getting a 30% or above conversion rate. If that's not happening and your vendor can't seem to rectify the problem, I would move on to another vendor at that point. Like I said, if you verify with the vendor that there's no problem on their end, and you've gotten like maybe a 25% conversion rate, I might let that go. But I like to stay with 30% or above. If you're getting lower than that, I would not I don't care who it is. I would not continue using that vendor. I would move on. Now, on the flip side, if you have gotten a 30% conversion rate or better, I would stick with that vendor, at least for a while. If you guys have a good working relationship, the vendor has done their job if you're getting a 30% or better conversion rate. Now, at that point, remember, we're dealing with 100 clicks. So 30 people have opted in. So at that point, Dan, it's your job as a marketer to convert these people, okay? Convert them into customers, and, hopefully into raving fans. And that's something you and I can certainly, talk about further. But again, once you've gotten that conversion rate, 30% or above, now it's your job to put on your marketing hat, and, allow these people to build a relationship with you where you can turn them into customers. And again, there's many ways of doing that by communicating with them via email, and of course, my favorite, via video. By the way, brother, you sent me a video, and I just want to let you know you're very, very personable. You're very, very good on camera. So I don't know how long you've been shooting videos, but I would say that you have a good talent, for being able to communicate on your videos. So again, I would use that strength, and I would use that talent. If it was me, brother, I would use that to communicate, with my list. I think you should be doing that to communicate with your list versus, just sending them a plain email. So anyway, brother, that's my advice as far as dealing with solo ads, knowing when to move on. Saying to yourself, you know what? I'm not getting any sales. I just don't think this solo ad is working. Again, if the leads are targeted and you're getting a 30% or a better conversion rate, it was a successful campaign. There's nothing wrong with the solo ad, so you don't need to move on. I mean, sure, you can try out different vendors, but if you've gotten a good conversion rate, I wouldn't switch too often. I would stick with that person, and I would focus on your end. I would focus on your skills as a marketer, as far as turning those people into, and they are people, they're not just leads, turning those people into customers and raving fans. So hope that was helpful, Dan. Looking forward to talking to you further and seeing you on one of our team hangouts. Take care, brother.